What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to Shattered Planet by Kitfox Games. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we take a look at this wonderful little roguelite. If you're not familiar, Shattered Planet is a game in which you are tasked with documenting all the species on a shattered planet. Probably this one in the background right here. Hello, you look quite fragmented. But anyways, the world has been blown up by something, I'm not really sure what. I never got to that part in the storyline. I've made it reasonably far in this game. Essentially, the game just randomly generates, well, there's a couple different game modes, and we'll talk about all of those as we play. But needless to say, I've got a pretty good amount of experience with this game. I've gotten to the point where I've more or less beaten exploration mode. And so today I'm going to introduce you to the game because I think it's a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and click that play button and see what's in store for us. Clone 001, are you there? This is Zek. Tap if you can hear me. Great. Look, you were deployed earlier than planned. This planet is extremely dangerous. You probably won't survive, okay? Let's just get you as far as possible. Get moving. And so this is going to be the little tutorial phase, and I am going to play through it mostly because I have no choice. There's no way to skip this. This is our character, and you control the game by clicking around. Now, you may have noticed that in the earlier part of his dialogue, he talked about tapping. That's because this game is ported over from iOS. And while that would normally set most people's teeth on edge as PC gamers, trust me, this game is a lot of fun, and so I'm pretty glad they brought it over to the PC. This right here is basically XP. It's called scrap metal, but you spend it to upgrade your character, which we will be doing in the future, because who wants to have these nasty little flaccid muscles? We want to be strong, but there's a Halo helmet down here, so let's put that on. And so there it is. It's a hazmat helm, and so it gives us chemical immunity, and it's perfect for toxic areas, and it gives us 16 wits and 3 defense. Good, because we don't want to be at our wits' end. Let's go ahead and stock our wit supply up quite, well, into the double digits at least. Bam! And so this is basically the entire part of the game that you're trying to do right here. It says new entry discovered. So as you discover new items and you discover new species, you gain crystals down here and you level up your research level. As you level up your research level, random things will show up in your base that make your job easier and easier and easier. And so you'll get new vendors, you'll get new characters, you'll get pets, you'll get all kinds of crazy stuff. And this game is a lot of fun, but the most important thing is that these crystals, they allow us to gamble for new gear. And so we'll keep that in mind as we move forward. If you wanted to look at your stats, you can click on this little guy down here in the bottom right hand corner. You'll have strength, which is for attack power, wits is for evading enemy attacks, and fate, which increases your critical hit and evade chance, if I'm reading that correctly. Everything else doesn't have a tooltip, but don't worry about it. Let's continue. Those little eyeballs out in the darkness are exactly what you think they might be. They're quite red, they're very sinister, they could be hostile foes, but they are creatures of any kind. Oh, and so we've come across, crab biscuits. It looks like the wildlife is getting territorial. Defend yourself, or die trying. You there, red crab, I challenge you to fisticuffs. Wow, 16 damage off a punch? Don't make this girl angry. Never insult her fondue, oh my god. We've discovered the crablet, delicious territorial crustaceans that are highly social, traveling in groups. Rumored to be immortal, the population must be controlled with regular culling. Sensitive to blunt damage. Yep, as most things are. You just apply that blunt force liberally and they should just fall over eventually. As a citizen of the Galactic Union, you earn crystals for every new entry in the data log, so keep your eyes peeled for different things you can find and get paid for. Hell yeah, I love getting paid. That's the greatest thing ever. Well, one of the greatest things ever. I take it back! Punch that crab to death. God, we're just rampaging through the local fauna. If I ran out into a forest on like a, well, not really, well, it's kind of a mushroom forest, I guess. If I ran out into a mushroom forest on a shattered planet and was just wandering around punching stuff in the face, I would stay the hell away from me. What is this? A sleepy crablet is crawling slowly out of its hole. It hasn't noticed you. Let's feed it! No, we failed. Oh no, wait, we still did. Yeah! New entry discovered. The friendly crablet. This crablet has accepted your dominance and lives to protect you, though it is not well equipped for battle. Sensitive to blunt damage. Hooray! We've got a pet! I named him Theopold. You offer some rashes to the crablet, it loves it, but others appear and fight over the crumbs. Okay, and so good morning, sunshine. That's a new entry. We shall help! We must beat it to death before Theopold falls. I'll rescue you, Theopold, my lovely little pink friend. Oh, he sings little crablet songs, too. How adorable. I like him. He hops. He hops merrily. I feel like if I woke up to him in my house, I would be pretty pleased. Does he eat kibble? What do we feed him? Crablet kibble? Cribble? And so we'll beat that one to death right there. There's also this little modifier you'll get right here. It says that you're resourceful, I guess, based on what you've found or what you've tested. Hold on, there's stuff over here. I see shinies off in the distance, and I can't walk away without taking them. They must be stuffed into my bag. And it's more scrap metal. Good. So we'll take that, and then if you notice, let's go back and take a look at something. You see this creeping black ink right here? That's bad. It's really bad. Basically, this is the timer to make sure that you don't dally on any level too long. This land becomes corrupted as you go along, and it starts to corrupt the animals, and they all become hostile. And so you want to be very careful about exploring, because if you take too long, things have the tendency to get covered in that nasty ink and become very, very hostile to you. They take on a penchant for biting, which is less than pleasant for your fingers and appendages. Alright, you made it to a teleporter. Nice one. It's gonna get a whole lot more difficult. You might die, but it's okay. I promise. Teleporters away! I added my own teleporter sound. Alright, we and Theopold. I don't know why I'm using Theopold as a footrest right here, but apparently he's decided to aid me in my stature and my cheering by being a footrest. Thank you, Theopold. We appreciate your service. Okay, the Yendor Corporation Labs. So there's a turret. Oh, hell, it shot me. No! Theopold! No, you vaporized Theopold! You son of a bitch! I'll kill you! Light turret. Essential element of any laboratory security system. Motion sensors are included. Well, now I have no reason to leave because Theopold has fallen in combat. And so now that everything in life is ruined, I'm not really sure what to do with myself. These are key cards, and you use these for doors along the way. I don't really want to go anywhere that's hostile to me, so I'm going to try and avoid that. Oh, they're already on me. Okay, that's bad. I'm going to grab this, and we're going to drink it. And it vaporized me. Great. Here lies newbie clone 001, who survived by wit and cunning. That is true. We did cun like crazy. You did great. No, really. I was pretty sure you'd die 2 minutes ago. You lost your items, but no sweat. We'll make more. Just continue on, brave Capitan. You're back on our beautiful ship. No pain, no mess, good as new. I'm pretty sure we left a big old pile of dust wherever it was that we died. The Yendor Corporation is going to have to invest in a janitor. I'm on my way. Just have a look around. And so if we go over here, it's our equipment cabinet. This is your stash. All of the items you create will be stored here. Always take some with you when you go to the planet. It's dangerous out there. So basically, you always want to have a helmet and you always want to have a weapon. I'm going to take the Hachimaki, or this bandana right here first. Gives us 8 wits, and its description is rad. It's radical, bro. And so we'll take the katana as well. Sharper than a 1,000-year-old cheese. And so there it is. We have a katana, and we have our Hachimaki slash bandana. This over here is where we can change what we look like. We have a few genetic variants you can choose from. Change up your DNA every now and again. And so I think I'm going to change my innie for an outie. And then I'm also, this basically looks kind of like me. So I'm going to go with that one. It looks vaguely like me if I allow myself not to shave and maybe hunted animals aggressively with pith helmets and hung out in Africa blowing stuff up with heavy caliber rifles. That's what he looks like, the guy from Jumanji that hunts other people. We'll rename him. His name shall be Grooby. And so Grooby, mighty explorer of the Universal Galactic Union. And so this is Rosa. This is the Random Object Synthesis Apparatus, or ROSA. Spend crystals here to create new armors and weapons anytime that you please. And oh, I please it. I please it right now. Let's go ahead. There's 3 different rankings you can go for. And so if you make bronze gear, it's guaranteed to have 1 or 2 stars. Silver gear is guaranteed to have 3 or 4. And gold gear is guaranteed to have 5. And so if you're really trying to do progression, so this game you kind of differentiate as you play. Certain runs are just going to be for leveling up, and certain runs are going to be for progression to see how far and how many bosses and things you can kill. If you're doing a progression run, I recommend going with gold gear. If you're just leveling up and trying to gather equipment, I would say just go with silver gear. So we're going to go with that. We're not going to use it right now, though, because we're really, really weak. We got the Atom Slicer. On strike, it applies bleeding. Julienne fries not included. Okay, and we'll do another one. And we got a Daredevil helmet. Applies heat resistance and is cannon ready. Good, we're going to save that for our next run, because this one's probably going to be terrible. Okay, I've turned on the teleporter. The planet's probably shifted into a new configuration by now. When you're ready, step on that teleporter. It's the job you were born to do. You'll lose your items when you die, but it's alright. We can make more. Let's go. And there's different modes, and so this is what I was talking about when we were first talking on the title screen. You've got Explorer mode, which is basically you try and go as far as you can. Every teleporter you go through earns you 3 crystals. We've got the data log, which is a hard mission, but there's an unidentified species that lurks deep in the planet. So once you've got your data log kind of full, this is how you catalog the remaining specimens that you can't seem to find. You've also got the signal, which I've never done, so I have no idea what it is, but it's very hard, and you get 100 crystals for completing it. And then, obviously, I've never done this one. You get 150 for completing it. And then, last but not least, there's the daily challenge, where they give you some gear to start out with, and you see how far you can go. The better that you do, the more rewards you get. And so there it is. I think I'm going to start out today. We'll go with an Explorer mode run. And we'll just see how far we get. In the early game, you're supposed to die, so just be aware of that. You are supposed to die in the early game. How's the air out there? Probably full of that nasty oxygen stuff. Ugh, no thank you. As a human being, we do have a weird dependency / addiction to the oxygenation. Okay, so we already got a poison crab. That's really, really bad because poison is super overpowered in the early game. So a venomous crablet, less social than the average crablet, possibly because their poison spit is less than charming, resistant to chemical damage. And so there's no way to dodge that. You just take damage from it. You get poisoned when you get bit, and it hurts a lot. Look, we're already at like 20% health. Thus what I mean. Poison is actually pretty overpowered in this game. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Even high-level characters who get poisoned are pretty boned. So since we have no healing items, I think this is probably going to be a really, really short stop. We're probably going to die before we get to the second lair here. Here's a crystal cluster. If we break these, we get a whole bunch of crystals out. So there it is right there. There's this machine over here that we can buy stuff for. A Gekian Antique. Applies facial resist, or physical resist. You don't want to get facial right now. Designed from the 10,000 Years War. Okay, we can't afford either of those. The helmet is really expensive and it's top tier, so that would be one of those things you would want to grab if you had started out with weak gear, you weren't really happy with your starting position. But we can't afford it, so it doesn't matter. He's friendly, I think, so we don't have to worry about him. We could murder him to fill out the data log, but I'm not going to right now, because I'm more interested in gathering crystals to guarantee that we get more gear in the future. We got two potions that do different things. You have to experiment to try them out. The orange one gave us... Oh, good, we're regenerating now, so that'll help out. We can now explore a bit more aggressively. These are friendly natives. They shouldn't bother us. There's 10 scrap or 15 scrap right there, so that's good. That'll help us level up our character a little bit later. But these are the natives. They aren't generally very hostile. You'll occasionally come across ones that are, but you have a pretty good warning when you find them. So where was the teleporter at? I think it was up and over here. Let's go look. So after a bad start, we got lucky. I want to remember that those orange ones are healing. And so, unfortunately, we have no pet. We look kind of dead-eyed. We definitely got like a dead-eyed killer look going on. We got that like 100-yard stare thing. I love the fact that we have like these mechanized muscles. That armor right there doesn't actually do anything. We're just kind of scrawny, and we like the way that it makes us look buffer. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. And so after every single level, you've got explored, 460 meters squared, and we've got our total haul so far. We're sickly because that's the modifier it's given us for having gotten poisoned first thing off on the journey. A little bit of XP right here. I'm going to grab that. Let's have a little bit of a look around. It looks like there's no enemies over here, just shinies. Oh, there's an enemy. I was wrong. Well, a creature. A non-hostile creature. We'll pick up that door key for later, because it may allow us to go to one of these little island shards that has a ton of gear on it. Something over here is fighting with something else. Okay, so it was one of the natives fighting with some hostile fauna. We'll slot the key in right there. The bridge will be opened. And that thing right there is hostile, so we're going to have to fight it. And so down he goes. We didn't get any XP or scrap from it, though, but we did get its unlock for the codex. So nest hatchling, larva, amphibious, nearsighted scavenger, often protected by a nest guardian. Okay, and so I think this is the nest right here. We find a large nest with only a helpless lone hatchling in it, squeaking softly in the darkness. Let's adopt it. Hooray! An imprinted hatchling. The hatchling has imprinted on you, believing you are its mother. Fantastic. And so we've got the latchkey kid, which you found a young hatchling left alone in its nest. And so it does document all of the occurrences that happen as well. Because we have a bodyguard, we can actually ditch this little guy now, and he can save us later on. Now that sounds like a really shady thing to do, but if it comes down to it surviving or us surviving, I'm going to do my best to make sure that we survive, because the farther we go, the more crystals we get. That right there looks like a suicide, which is what we used to make with Slurpees when I was a kid, where you mix like 10 different Slurpee flavors together and they all separate out into different colors. If we get really lucky, this native might die over here, but he's clearing the path for us pretty well. I'm going to kill him off for the codex entry. There we go. The tribal hunter. Local mutant survivalist, generally less territorial and aggressive except to local fauna. So we've killed him off. He's dropped, oh, a 3-star axe. The tribal axe, 8 strength and 6 fate. Used for rituals and chopping things. Is it better than our katana? 6 to 10 damage. 3 to... Oh, yeah, it is better. Let's go ahead and wield it, since when we die, we lose all our gear anyway, so we might as well have it. So now we have a tomahawk or a Steve-a-hawk or whatever you want to name your hawk. I really don't mind. A tomahawk is perfectly fine. I have family members named Tom, so it works out. It's like a memento of murder. Hopefully my pet doesn't aggro anything else, but let's have a look. Okay, so there's nothing else left. Let's jump into the teleporter. We've earned ourselves another 3 crystals. Awesome. And so we have an imprinted hatchling. Now, if we make it back to base with him, eventually if we unlock enough codex entries, what'll happen is you can actually select between your pets later on. Now, I don't know if we have the pets as it stands right now, and we'll be able to select them once we get enough XP to unlock it. But that's why you want to fill out your codices. As you get research levels, you'll get new machinery like the one that stores your pets. How do you think evolution works on these little shards? I'm surprised anything survives. Well, especially with me running around hatcheting it all to death. I mean, that certainly doesn't help the process. Let's grab that key and all of this scrap. We'll slot that into the door. Apparently whoever was carrying the key didn't get very far. And we've got another one over here. So we've got 2 of those and 1 of those. We really need to start testing these pretty shortly and figuring out what they do. I don't think, as it stands right now, it fills it out after you use them the first time. These guys should turn around so that they never trap you on any of the shards. That is one of the nice little features that they've implemented so that you don't waste time. I do enjoy the fact that the developers have taken the time to add little... Oh, help us! Eat him, pet! Yes, soak damage. It's what you were born for. Alright, so seeing as he soaked damage for us, he still seems a little grumpy. We've got the gems seem to be pulsing in a particular pattern, but you're not sure what it is. We will dance to the tune! You take advantage of the light show to get footloose. It'd be more fun with music. And so now we're in a good mood. We've got 10 wits and 10 fate. You realize the gems of a rock were pulsing in a pattern. Just boom, chicka boom, chink, boom, chicka boom, chink. I got my dance on. It was crazy. I've been diversifying lately. We put some pop and lock in right there. We did a little bit of like a V-step. We brought it around in a full circle. I'm going to murder that thing. I wish that we had a healing tonic. I think the blue one killed me last time, so I'm kind of afraid to drink it. I was gonna say, that thing looks hostile. Please don't kill my pet. You already killed Theopold. Like, why did you take him from me? This one is my new favorite, and its name is Marcia. And if you kill Marcia, I'm gonna be very upset with you. As I'm always upset when people kill my pets. I mean, it's a random occurrence, and it does happen every now and again, but I would prefer to keep my pets where they belong. So let's go down another teleporter, and that's gonna be 9 crystals for us on this run. Not a bad haul. We've got 125 scrap. We've got 71 crystals so far. We are doing well. And now we're exuberant, apparently. They decided to give us a moniker which has an X in it, which I'm okay with. We've got another poisonous crablet, so we might die right here. I'm going to step back and let's throw this at him. Oh, good, it did shock damage. However, we might lose Marcia. Sorry, Marcia. It was a pleasure knowing you, but you're gone now. Oh no, it was a mimic! That's a vendor, normally, that you can buy gear from, but... it fooled us. Here lies sickly, exuberant Grooby, who inspired others to follow. Yes, indeed. Grooby was a magnanimous bastard with a magnificent mustache, but unfortunately, when your card gets pulled, your card gets pulled. It's the nature of the game. So, as you will see, there's a new machine that's been installed right here. It's going to be an exercise machine that allows us to spend our scrap in order to upgrade ourselves. And that scrap metal you've picked up is perfect for training, giving you permanent upgrades. Spend it all. Okay, and so the first thing I like to spend on is usually strength, just to make you hit harder, because in my experience, being successful in this game seems to revolve very heavily around being able to one-shot whatever it is that runs up on you. And once you've got a lot of strength, I've noticed that the game's difficulty really tapers off pretty quickly. And so I think what I'll do is we'll put in 15 right there, and that'll raise our damage up to... well, we'll spend our entire first batch. So now it looks like we're up to 11 to 13 damage instead of 8 to 11 or 8 to 10 or 7 to 10, whatever it was before. So we're going to be doing a lot more native damage, and then with our weapons it's going to add together, and it's going to work out pretty great for us. The other machines, okay, so they haven't added anything else. He's come here now, he's arrived. An optimizer's work is never done. Let's go ahead and synthesize ourselves a bit more gear. And I'm going to go with silver class gear this time. Another atom slicer. I will recommend that you make some of the bronze gear too, because it does unlock things in your codex. It gives you new entries. I'll call it the codex. I don't know why I call it the codex. I just do. An axe on an axe with an axe. The multi-axe exception. And so your hard work has paid off. The Galactic Union has sent you a bonus. We're now at research level 1. And it's a vending machine. I can purchase supplies for my adventures from it. That's really good. Does this thing buy with scrap or crystals? Crystals. and it's got bandages, so that'll allow us to heal a little bit better. Do not underestimate the value of healing items in this game. If you're prepared, you bring a lot of healing items, you can last so much longer than you would have beforehand. Like a couple of juice boxes, a couple of bandages can easily take you from floor 3 up to floor 8 or 9 if you apply them properly at the right moment. So don't underestimate healing items in this game. They are very, very good. Much like poison is very, very bad, regenerative items are very, very good. So the OP-ness carries over from one side to the other. So it goes tit for tat. That's one thing I will say in retrospect, having played the game quite a bit now, is that it goes both ways. So be very, very careful about it. I think that's about all that I'm going to be able to like squeeze in today. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off the episode right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in this, our first episode of Shattered Planet. I look forward to playing this game through with you and doing all my upgrades together, one by one, and seeing how far into the planet we can get, doing some of these correlated challenges with all of you. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Take care out there, everybody, and I do.